Hello?
Hello?
Shall we continue?
Yeah, we are ready.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Next, we will talk about the MMTC coexist with the NB-IoT and eMMTC. NB-IoT and eMMTC. This is IoT technology. Is a low power widely air, technology. And NB and MMTC can be evolved to the NR systems in the future. But actually, the NB, this standard NB-IoT have become the 5G standard, in the 3GPP in the 3GPP conferences in this year. And 5G will not be involved in LPWA, lower power widely air, and the NB-IoT technology is still evolving. And 5G will coexist with the NB-IoT and eMMTC. I have said, actually in China, the NB-IoT network has deployed well, and in China, you can use the NB-IoT to connect with the bicycle, and use the NB-IoT for the intelligent meter reading. And eMMTC, you can use this technology or deploy this network into the elevator for the monitoring. These two technology is the LDPWA technology, and has NB-IoT has become the 5G standard. And the these two systems can be involved in the 5G systems. Actually, like the 4G, NB-IoT also can in the LTE frequency band or out LTE frequency band. This is the MTC. And about the 5G network security, protect user data and enable network reliance and business continuity. First is the confidentiality. And some, our 4G network will provide various types of service. Use these three scenarios: URLLC, MMTC, and eMBB. These three typical scenarios. These two typical scenarios. And some of these service need a very high security. For example, if one slice is used by like a nationality grade, and they need a very high security of their network, and it should be fully isolated from the other slice. We need to provide this security. The security point include these four sides. The user like this one, like confidentiality, and integrity, and availability, and changeable. We need to guarantee the integrity of the message. It shouldn't be charged. Shouldn't be modified. And also availability. It should be availability end to end. And also changeable. If there is any operation to equipment or to the message, we can change to the source who has done this. So this is about our 5G network security. And the enhanced 5G security. Compared with our 4G network. First, about the enhanced encryption algorithm. 5G enhanced algorithm or 5G use 256-bit encryption or algorithm. But our 4G just use 128-bit algorithm. And this is out of it. Nowadays, the quantum computing is also developing very fast. And with the quantum computing, this one is not safety. Any longer. It can be decrypted maybe in several hours by using quantum computing. But for this one, 256-bit, this would be much more difficult for decryption. So this is about the encryption method for 5G. And about the user identification, we know that imacy is the user identifier. Imacy is the user's identification. For 4G, 3G, and 2G, if our network can't find the user ID, imacy, our network will request the imacy from the user. And the user will send the imacy in plain text, not encrypted. Is not secure. If there's someone tracing this imacy number, one can get the ID for a user. But for our 5G, when we are asking about the user's ID, this ID will be encrypted first and then sent to the network. And even if someone is chasing it, they can't decoding it. That's to say, the user's ID or image is encrypted. Enhanced so much better compared with the 4G. The third is about the protection between the operators. The PLMN. PLMN means the public network, public land mobile network. We can see just the different operators. Let's see in some roaming scenarios. For example, if you are going abroad to some other countries and your mobile will ask another network, this is roaming. When this is roaming, there's some weak point which should be easy for the attackers to attack. So that is all about roaming interface. Now this kind of the leakage is fixed in 5G. Even if it's roaming, we still need to have your information going back to your home network and to be encrypted for better security. security, and go back your home security and more security. And for 5G, we also have the user. This is the enhanced interconnection security. And for the 5G, we also have the user play. User play integrated protection. For 4G, the user play integrated does not exist. In our 4G, in our 4G, user control play and user play, and layer 1. Layer 1, layer 2, layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. And in 4G, and just the control plane has the integrated protection. But for our 5G, no matter the control plane or user plane, have the two plane, the control plane and the user plane. Both of them have the integrated protection. Has the protection, and it can provide better security for the user information. This is about the enhancement of the security of 5G. This is a comparison with the compared with the 4G security. The 5G security is enhanced. This is about the development of 5G protocol and standardization. And next, we will learn about the third one, about the second one. Have any question?
Oh, no, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, let's learn about the third part of 5G industry tree and the ecosystem. And these two pictures show us the market penetration of 5G will exceed 3G and 4G. So this is about the first two chapters. Now this picture is some history data. This picture. Some history data, experienced data, and some prediction for 4G. It said that the 5G can reach. We can see here the 5G can reach to 500 million users. It just used only 3 years. And for the 4G, it reached for the 4G. It reached the 500 million users. It used 6 years. 6 years. And for 3G, it used 9 years. Used 9 years. And let's to say 5G deployment will be much faster compared with the 3G and 4G. And look here. This is a situation in last year, 2019. The first half, there only 5 in this year, 2018.
Excuse me.
Please.
Yes. What do you mean by 2018 H1? Exactly. What do you mean by H1? H1 and H2.
H1 means from the
I think it's the first half.
yeah.
First half. Third half.
Uh-huh. H1 means the from the February to the July, and H2 means the half from July to December.
January.
Yeah. Half year. And five. There are only 5 commercial launched network, commercial network in the world. And it's predicted that in the year 2019 there can be 25 commercial networks, but the reality is that the year of second half, the year means the year of second half, 2018, it has already 13 commercial network not to this year already existed the prediction, the half year. H1 means the half year, the first half year and the second half year. Now, in December of the year 2019, there are already 15 commercial now, maybe more in 2020. In 2020, and maybe 17 commercial network now. It's much master than prediction. Is much more than the expectation. It's 10 in 2000 now is 2020 there are 17 countries where deployed the 5G network. This is and 15 spectral actions, and this figure, its number is not correct, but this number is in 2019, and 2020 is more. And the 5G large-scale commercial environment is ready. And this picture show us actually it is similar to this picture. Similar to this picture, it show us the 5G deployed very fast from the chipset, UE, CPE, base station, and their network and the core network is already. Actually, now most of countries like China, Korea, Japan, and some Middle East country has deployed the 5G network, and include the Western country has deployed the 5G network. And the next, I will introduce some about the 5G chipset. 5G chipset is very important for the for the terminal. While the 5G terminal can support high throughput, slow large connection, and the 5G chipset is very important. There are in the world there are several companies can produce the chipset. The first one is Qualcomm. The Qualcomm is a famous company. It is from America, and the chipset, the company's chipset is very famous. And in 2018, and Qualcomm released his chipset SDX50, and this chipset just can support NSA. But now the Qualcomm had released his SDX55. This support NSA and SA, and now some terminal company has used this chipset like Xiaomi in China, and Vivo and Oppo and LG use this chipset. And another company is Intel. It had produced the NSA, this chipset also support NSA and SA. But the Intel provide the chipset to the Apple. But there are some reasons that these two companies didn't cooperate, and Apple also use the Qualcomm's chipset. And maybe one reason is that the Intel's chipset, the performance is not very good. So the Apple company didn't use the Intel's chipset of Intel. And another is the sensor. Sensor also can produce the chipset. There are two mode sensor. But the sensor's chipset just used in carrier. Just used in carrier. But in China, this chipset is not used widely. And another is this one, Meditech. And this chipset just used in some low-end terminal, some low-end terminal, and also not used widely. And this is a Huawei's chipset, Helicon, and in this year, it can support or 5G network, support 5G service, support the NSA and SA, and this is a Huawei CPE. And Huawei also released his chipset Balong 5000. This chipset can support 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G. And this chipset is the earliest chipset in the world that can support NSA and SA, and can support all network mode like 2G, 3G, 4G, even 5G. This Helicon chipset is belong to Huawei company. This is a 5G chipset. 5G chipset. And this is Balong 5000. World leading. It can support 2G to 5G. And what is the fastest downlink speed and uplink speed can support 4.6 Gbps, 2.5 Gbps. And what's first support uplink and downlink decouplng. And the chipset LED support both SA and NSA, and can support the millimeter wave, high frequency band. And Balloon 5000 also can support the V2X 5G chipset. Can support the V2X. So Huawei's chipset HCIA is not developed very longer compared with the Qualcomm. The Qualcomm's chipset technology is the best, but with the development of the Qualcomm's chipset technology, and Huawei's chipset now is follow up. It follow up the Qualcomm's technology. And the chipset performance. We can. This is a summary of the chipset performance. First, Qualcomm. Let's two mode. And manufacturing process. The manufacturing process. The number is small. Means the technology is advanced. Qualcomm said they can make out the 7 nm chipset. It's very, very small. The chipset is small. Means the technology is advanced. Because chipset is small, we can have a good mobile phone battery. Like this one can direct affect power consumption. And the Qualcomm the chipset can support NSA and SA and HCIA also can support 7 nm the chipset. But maybe in the future, several years later, it can support 5 nm. 5 nm is very, very small. I mean, chipset small means it can have a large power battery, have a large power. And sensor, and Unisco and MediaTek have this chipset. This is the performance about this 5 typical chipset company. And this is a 5G terminal. For Huawei, last year have released this terminal. Mate X. This Mate X last year it can float. And this is Huawei's CPE. And is 4G 5G terminal. And this is not the latest. I can show you the latest. We can see this is this data is from the GSMA. We can see until the May 20th. There are 300 terminals will be released. And actually, now it just have 100 terminal have released. Have released. Have released. We can see here. See here. (296) announced the device where release this terminal, and 119 phones are now commercial available, and 84 CPE device, 84 device, and 47 module, and 20 hotspots. This is the latest data. So we select the 5G terminal or device also developed very faster. And this is the terminals released at the MWC in 2019. The Huawei support Mode X. Mode X support use the Balloon 5000. 5000, and LG and Samsung and TCL, Vivo, Xiaomi, and ZTE, and all this company have released his terminal. And this is a 5G Data Terminal CPE. Huawei, D-Link, and ZTC is from China, Samsung, and Nokia. Is use chipset, and the speed. Okay, this is a 5G terminal. Actually, in China, 5G terminals now the price is lower and lower. Maybe one 5G terminal, maybe $700 US dollar. Sorry. Maybe $700 US dollar, and I think maybe in maybe several years later, several years later, and no, sorry, don't need this money. It's too expensive. Maybe no, $400 US dollar. $400 US dollar. And maybe in several years, it may $150 US dollar. So the 5G terminal will be more cheaper. Okay, about the
excuse me, just I have one question because previous slide.
Please.
Yeah, why most of the terminals include 2.6 gigahertz? What's 2.6 gigahertz is used for?
2.6
gigahertz frequency band. What is used for?
Which picture?
The next slide. Yes, this one. In the frequency column.
This one?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Most of the devices support 2.6 gigahertz.
Yeah.
Why is this 2.6 gigahertz? Is this supported for which application?
In our frequency, and I will introduce The main frequency band is focused on 3.5 gigahertz.
Yes, yes.
But some also like China's mobile, some frequency band like 2.6 gigahertz also support the 5G. 5G, yeah.
Okay.
And now maybe in the future, the millimeter wave also support our 5G based 5G service. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
This is China's situation.
Okay, thank you. We got it. Thank you.
Yeah. About the terminal, have any question?
Well, thank you.
Next.
Actually, in China, until now, maybe have 15 million, 50 million user, 50 million, 50 million user or even more user of 5G, 5G user, 5G user. And if you want to change your mobile, now we always choose the 5G terminal, and the 5G terminal is also not very expensive now. I think maybe in the year of 2021, and most people will use the 5G terminal. 5G terminal at the time, and the 5G terminal, 5G base station also deployed well, and the 5G signal will be good, and also 5G application will be more. This is the 5G terminal.
Excuse me.
Please.
Yeah, regarding the 5G terminals, 5G, yes, it's, it has more capability and more capacity can be supported in a 5G mobile phone or terminal. But most of the researchers, most of the giant companies, especially the one they produce, just you mentioned that, like Huawei and Qualcomm, Samsung, they confess that they, admitted that more capability of terminals will lead to more cost and at the same time more complexity. Just one example, one hand phone, for example, has been produced by Samsung. So just one hand phone previously, because one terminal, it was only supporting one transceiver, because it's based on omnidirectional. But one 5G terminal should be embedded with 9 transceivers, because especially if this terminal is supporting millimeter wave. So, and also, for example, slicing, you have network slicing. So in terms of the network slicing, so the chip need to differentiate between the different slices. For example, when for example, me as a user, I'm registering for one slice. So this slice is just for the for EMBB, mobile broadband. So maybe I will, I have autonomous vehicle, and this autonomous vehicle is supported for. So in this case, in this scenario, the complexity, people are very scared about the complexity and cost of the terminals. and this is, I personally attended many webinars, so they stressed on this point. 5G terminals complexity will be higher, and in terms of the cost also will be higher. So I mean, do you have any? Because what you mentioned, based on the prediction that you mentioned, the 5G terminals is, by passing time, the price will be reduced.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you said what you said is right. In the or 5G terminal, it's more complex because it must support 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and support NSA and SA, and there are more antenna in the terminal to support the high throughput.
Yes.
Actually, the cost at the beginning time, the cost may be very high. And the chipset, chipset is also one key point that while the terminals is good or not, if the chipset is processed well, if the chipset's capability is good, and the 5G's terminal is also have a good performance. And the chipset now I don't in China, especially in China, Qualcomm's chipset, the chipset didn't sell to China, so sometimes it also affect the terminal's price or terminal's performance. But I think, in my opinion, and if China's market is very, very big, very, very large, and if the 5G deployment well, and the 5G application have a lot of application, I think if everyone have 5G terminal, and the cost will, I think the cost will reduce, and the technology technology will be more easier, because you have enough time to experience, to try, may also can reduce the cost. This is my opinion. Just my opinion.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Just based on what I'm saying, it's just based on the latest. I have given you this example. One handset, like one terminal, if it's supporting the millimeter wave, it should be embedded with 9 antenna, because millimeter wave communication is directional. So beam steering and beam forming, it's it's very complex.
Yes.
Especially the battery, battery and thermal power generation inside the mobile phone, and this is how to handle all these things. I think it's we are like, we are at the beginning, somehow beginning stage of such kind of things, to handle all these aspects. And many companies, they are just improving what they have done. Thank you very much for
actually the terminals technology I also not very good at. Just focus on the wireless. So I also can't respond very well.
Okay. No, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay. Next, let's talk about 5G frequency band. Frequency band. And next we learn about the frequency spectrum. The 5G spectrum is decided by the United Nations. WRC. WRC means the World Radio Conferences. That conferences hold in 2015. 2015. In these conferences, it decided that sub-6 G used for 5G. Sub-6 G used for 5G. This is before 6 gigahertz. And it also be separated in two parts. One is 3G sub-3G. Another is C band. Another is C band. Another is C band. C band. The sub-3G. This frequency band had occupied by the 2G, 3G, and 4G. 4G. But in this 3GPP conferences, it has announced the 3G, 2G, 2G will be finished, will be out, and this technology didn't evolve. So maybe in the future, the low frequency band can be used in our 5G. In our 5G, the low frequency band is better than high frequency band. And another is C band from 3 gigahertz to 6 gigahertz. And the popular frequency band is 3.5 gigahertz. 3.5 gigahertz. Is used this frequency band used widely. This is we can also call it FR1, frequency range 1. This is FR2. FR2 is a millimeter wave. And now most of country use operator use the 3.5 this frequency band. This frequency band. And another for conference in this year, 2019. it decided such use of millimeter wave can be used by 5G. 5G, and at least they are using frequency with a very high frequency. High frequency means the coverage is limited and the loss is very large. And for this millimeter wave, we focus on the popular is 228 gigahertz. 28 gigahertz is used widely. Like the FWA fixed wireless access. Fixed wireless access. And the millimeter wave, the millimeter wave have a lot of frequency bands. Maybe in the future, we will use the millimeter wave for the hotspot coverage in like a supermarket, like the cinemas, like the Dream use this high frequency band for supplementary. This is the frequency band. Okay. Have any question about this frequency band?
Please, do you have any idea about using visible light in the new releasing for 5G? For example, for using of Wi-Fi or something like that, maybe?
Yeah, maybe even 6G. Usually the visible light.
So
Maybe.
not expected in the 5G.
Yeah,
that?
no. Now we don't 5G. You don't use the visible light. Maybe I think maybe 6G.
Even in the next maybe 17 releasing, you don't expect that.
I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Maybe in the future, our light in our level, we can level provide the signal to our terminal, and maybe in the future 60. Okay.